Brought to you by businessblueprint.com.au.
To get the attention, to get access to your target market, you need two things. How many things? Yeah. Number one, you need to get their attention. Agreed? Yeah. We've talked about how to do that with conversion content. Second thing you need is their trust. So you need their attention and you need their trust. Lots of marketers get one but not the other. Which one do you think they're good at? Which one do you think they suck at? Right. What's the downside of not having trust? Right. It's like in The Simpsons when they zoom in on, what's the dog's name? Santa's little helper? And he's looking up at Homer telling him off, and all he hears is, na 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 na. That's exactly what it's like if you don't have this. So Stephen Covey, famous author of The 7 Habits, has got a son, also called Stephen Covey, which I think is particularly original. He wrote a great book called The Speed of Trust. Has anyone read it? Okay. Hands up who's heard of it but not read it? It's completely new to everybody else. Okay, great. Speed of trust. Let me sum it up for you in one big idea. There's a trust tax. Anytime you want to do business with somebody, there's a trust tax. If there's no trust, everything is three things: slower, harder, and more expensive. Just think about it from, let's say I wanted to sell something to Jeff, and we're sitting down at the table, and you don't trust me. Okay? Because I've got that shifty look in my eyes. Right? You don't trust me. Doing business with Jeff is now going to be slower. True or true? It's going to be harder, and it's going to be more expensive. Conversely, where there is trust, there's now the speed of trust. Everything is now cheaper, faster, and easier. Yeah? So ideally, once you get the attention of a prospect, you need to build trust with them. Now, building trust with somebody can take time. Would you agree? Like, even think about relationships you've got with friends and family. Trust can take years to develop and can be blown in a heartbeat. Can't it? A trust breach. Oh, I don't trust you anymore. Oh, come on, give us a second chance. You can't talk your way out of something you behaved yourself into. Sounds deep. Steve Covey said that, so don't quote me. The father. So if you don't build trust, everything is slower, more expensive, and harder. So here's the thing. How do you build trust without it taking you forever and stuff? Enter their model of the world. Yep. Do what you say you're going to do. Yeah, make and keep simple promises. Yep. What else? Maybe, if your autoresponders are good. Yeah, you're giving conversion content that adds value completely. You can build trust that way. Yep. Become the advisor in your area. Yep. Let them know that you understand their position. Awesome. How do you mean? Oh, about your flaws?
Not yours necessarily, but
somebody else's flaws. Yep. Safer. Yeah. Yeah, got it. Mistakes to avoid. Yep. Build a relationship with them. Yes. Okay. Let's just pause. Everything until 9 seconds ago sounded like good, old-fashioned, traditional ways to build trust. Be the trusted advisor. Build relationships with them. Teach them stuff. Send them useful content. Is all this sounding slow or fast? Yeah. Cool? So, do you not, hear my heart. Do that stuff. Because it's the right thing to do, and you don't want to be a jerk. Write that down. Don't be a jerk. Got it. What did you get out of this conference? Taki told me not to be a jerk. Awesome. That sounds deep. But all that stuff is slow. Okay? It takes time to build that kind of trust with somebody. Then we popped up over here, and what'd you say? Get endorsements. So let's say I want to do business with Jeff, and sorry, what's your name? Marissa, that's right. And Jeff and Marissa are friends. And I've done business with Marissa many times, and she's had a great experience, right? And I've got this, this conference coming up that I reckon would be perfect for Jeff. And he goes to Marissa, I don't, by the way, it's cool, it's very safe. Hey Marissa, talk to this guy Taki. Even before that. So I go, you know what, I could approach Jeff direct, but he doesn't know me, doesn't trust me, doesn't like me yet. Or I can go to Marissa and say, hey Marissa, I know that you're Jeff's boss and he listens to everything that you say. What I'd love you to say is, could you spread the word for me, please? And Marissa goes, hey Jeff, there's this conference I went to a year ago, really was helpful around this and this and this. I know you've got that project coming up. I think it might be really helpful. What do you reckon? All of a sudden, just because it got introduced through Marissa, trust is higher. Would you agree? So here's the key lesson. Trust is transferable. In other words, if you're trusted by the target market, and I want to be, if I have you introduce me, all of a sudden I get 6 or 7 kind of trust points, if such a thing existed. Yeah?
Brought to you by businessblueprint.com.au.